I'm now going to invite, if you're up to it, and please feel free to say no, Magnus to share some views, just because I know you've been on the previous panel as well, but I thought it was an important segue because you deal with power quality. And luckily in India, quality used to be a very binary measure. Do I have supply or not? Luckily, we've moved beyond that, and now shortfalls are diminishing. They're not exactly zero, but they're getting there. And in a short amount of time, India will move toward not having shortfalls of power as their problem, but managing it cost effectively, securely, with diversity of supply, and for lack of a better word, with smartness. So that's really going to be the challenge moving ahead. So with that sort of segue, Magnus, maybe you could share a few thoughts and insights about power quality and especially related to AMI and customers and distribution sector.
Thank you very much. Dear speakers and panel and audience, thank you again for listening to me. I have some of the similar slides, but I would like to talk about some other things on these slides relating more to smart metering. So if we think about, when we talk about smart meters, everyone think about meters in the households. But we have a lot of other smart meters in the grid, and that includes power quality meters. And it's easy to think when you say you have a smart meter, okay, that's going to solve the world, that's going to solve everything. And we just push the challenges in front of us. But I think also when doing smart metering rollouts and implementations, we also need to understand the challenges and limitations. What can a meter do, and what do we do with all the other systems and technologies in the grid? Because I do believe that being smart in one end doesn't make you smart overall. You need to be smart everywhere. So that's one measure. Again, talking about smart metering and consumers, we have renewable energy now coming, and that's going to change the whole situation, also for smart metering and rollouts. So of course, that's something we need to understand. And from a power quality perspective, we know that these technologies also causes more disturbances and interruptions. So that's for measuring on power quality is very important. And today, some smart meters actually do measuring power quality. But when we look at it, it's mainly for statistical purposes. And if you look at the real analysis and understanding what is really going on with the consumer or in the grid, you actually need quite sophisticated technologies, and that's good. Coming into projects, we actually did a project in Sweden also using energy storage, which was very exciting because again, what we see consumers, we talk earlier about Google, we talk about Amazon and stuff, and consumer end and social media, that's where it's all happening. But I think we can learn a lot from that, and also looking inside the grid, in the distribution companies, what can we do inside? Energy storage and a smart grid project we did in Sweden was very successfully with wind turbines and then a lot of batteries. But of course, as someone mentioned earlier in the conference, with energy storage, the business model is still a challenge and the cost. But as battery prices go down, it's quite interesting how you can work with that. And then on the end, also how can you then work with tariffs to the consumers? And coming into regulations, again, I spoke about before, I said win-win. I definitely believe that, and as I said, I'm very happy that in India, regulation is working on a new regulatory board is working on a new regulation, and also including power quality and Class A to the standard that's needed to manage the grid. So that's very important, and we also believe that regulation can actually speed up the speed of change, helping rollouts like this and big projects. In terms of coming into commenting on business models, That's also quite interesting because if we look at now at home in Sweden, for example, I almost pay everything per use, software as a service or subscription. And as a distribution companies, and we can also do that to consumers, but how about inside? And if I look at me as a technology provider, when I'm providing a price to a distribution company, I should offer in the same business model. Pay per use, software as a service, and things. But there we see some challenges on changing the business model in the electrical grid that we need to work on. And regulation can also help with that. Big data, integration. Smart meters today are capturing a lot more information than what it did before, with more accuracy and a lot of more information. But how is that integrated and used in the rest of the grid? I think that's a key challenge and that you need to take away. A rollout like this, how should it be integrated with the rest of the distribution system or transmission system? There's a lot of data out there, and as I said before, one of my idols, I guess, Bill Gates, said there's a lot of data, but not enough information. Third generation metering, this is what we believe, and when it comes to look at the evaluation of power quality, first people started to use portable meters, went out, and when something is wrong, you go out and measure. Of course, it's too late. Now we have fixed meters, which is more like a black box in an airplane thinking, right? You record everything. But what we are now delivering and working on is more integrated and preventive meters, actually being able to look in the future, using artificial intelligence and machine learning to actually predict what's going to happen. And from a power quality perspective, that's very important. And therefore, as I said, we're working with artificial intelligence and pattern recognition, and we've done so for 2 years in a European Union-funded project with Norway and Turkey. And we're now starting a new one with energy storage and adaptive control of energy storage. And the first solution we have already is something called ProAct, being able to actually do trend analysis on voltage, harmonics, power, and other parameters in power quality. Actually make quite good predictions. And with AI, I think that is something that really is going to come everywhere, and also in smart meters. And the nice thing with AI is that it learns every day, and it becomes better every day. A bit scary, but I think it's going to benefit us all. And last but not least, seeing is believing, working together. This is the only way we're going to make this work. Not a smart meter rollout project and another project there, but we're working together as a team. Both government, distribution, transmission, consumers, and technology providers. And we are very happy to work with Tata Power, both in Delhi and in Mumbai, and also with some discussions with Reliance to really work together. So thank you very much.